Coaching. Engaging host protection.
Get ready to dive into a treasure of heroic identities, high-tech armor, and Scarab-fueled adventures, because we're about to explore the captivating world of the Blue Beetle in its diverse array of versions. From the classic to the cutting edge, the Blue Beetle legacy has spanned across timelines, universes, and dimensions, captivating comic book enthusiasts and pop culture nerds alike. Hold on, because the multiverse has a few more surprises up its sleeve. From alternate realities to futuristic settings, Blue Beetle adaptations like Elton Kookaburra and Dan Garrett from Earth 19 transport us to dimensions where the blue-hued mantle take on fresh and unexpected forms. Every version brings its own twist to the iconic role, so buckle up as we navigate this exciting spectrum of Blue Beetle variations, proving the enduring popularity of a hero whose legacy continues to evolve across time and space. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The Blue Beetle Who Laughs. The curtain rose on a sinister scheme hatched by none other than the Batman Who Laughs. Think Bruce Wayne, but with a diabolical twist from Earth 22's dark corner. He got his villainous mitts on some batarangs and took a page from the Joker's playbook, coating them with the same twisted toxin that transformed him into the evil menace. He decided to get up close and personal, ramming one of those infected batarangs right into Jaime's neck. Instantly, our boy found himself on the express train to Villainville, becoming an actual malevolent bug in the process. With a dose of toxin-infused transformation coursing through his veins, Jaime Reyes morphed into the evilest version of the Blue Beetle this side of the multiverse. And he's playing for the dark team, folks. We're talking about a power-up of epic proportions, but it's the villainy kind of power. His newfound abilities are off the charts. Imagine this: Jaime can break down his own molecular structure into teeny tiny nanobots, allowing him to sneak into places even Batman's gadgets can't access. And that's just the tip of the villainous iceberg. He's got the hacking skills to make Lex Luthor do a double take, infiltrating the Fortress of Solitude, the Batcave, Superman's fancy Kalex robot, and even the almighty Hall of Justice. It's like if Tony Stark turned to the dark side and became a supervillain hacker extraordinaire.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. Jaime, the everyday kid from El Paso, was soaking up the last drops of summer sun with his school buddies, Brenda and Paco, when they spotted something odd floating down the river. As curiosity called, Brenda and Paco set sail for this floating mystery, only to find that this thing wasn't exactly friendly. But that floating oddity, none other than the star of the show, the Scarab, decided to hitch a ride on Jaime. Suddenly, Jaime's world did a 180-degree spin as the Scarab took over, turning him into the reluctant host of a cosmic companion. Seeing his life rapidly nosediving into the what on earth is happening territory, Jaime called in the big guns. He knocked on the lab door of Ted Kord, a scientist and the brain behind Kord Industries. You might remember him as the former Blue Beetle. Together, they unraveled the Scarab saga. It's an alien artifact with a side dish of sentience, chattering away inside Jaime's head. Jaime and the Scarab became an unstoppable duo like Batman and his brooding. Their bond was so tight they practically finished each other's metaphysical sentences. With a simple mental nudge, Jaime could call forth the Scarab's cosmic might, even if it decided to go AWOL from his body. But, and this is a big but, the Scarab had a mind of its own like a cosmic GPS, with a penchant for taking the scenic route. But what's a superhero story without some snazzy gear? Enter the Scarab's piece de resistance, its armor. Imagine Jaime in a metallic suit. That's the superhero version of Swiss Army knife, capable of pulling off more stunts than a circus acrobat. Dan Garrett the Blue Beetle, debuting in the golden age of comic books, precisely within Fox's Mystery Man Comics #1. Garrett marked his initial introduction. He holds the distinction of being the first figure to become the Blue Beetle, coming before Ted Kord and Jaime Reyes. Here is Dan's story. Back in the ancient days, Pharaoh Khafre was the proud owner of one potent artifact, a blue scarab figurine. This little gem was like a magical bouncer, keeping evil out of his followers' lives. When Khafre bit the dust, he took the scarab with him, causing centuries of villainous attempts to swipe it. Fast forward to the 1930s, where ace archaeologist Dan Garrett struck gold, or rather blue, In Kayefri's tomb, as he cracked open the sarcophagus, he found the legendary Scarab. The Scarab turned Dan into the one and only Blue Beetle. Super strength? Check. Heroic destiny? Double check. With the Scarab's gift coursing through his veins, Dan became a 30 superstar, solving mysteries and slapping evil in the face, all while keeping his secret identity as a mystery man. Later, Dan became an archaeology professor and met the brilliant Ted Kord. Ted was like a sponge soaking up all the knowledge until trouble knocked at the door. Uncle Jarvis Kord had world domination dreams and Ted needed some superhero backup. Dan jumped in like a superhero on a caffeine high, helping Ted thwart his uncle's schemes. It's here where Dan's tale takes a twist. It's like a thunderclap. He made the ultimate sacrifice, handing the Scarab to Ted before disappearing into a cave-in. Ted Kord, Blue Beetle. Meet Theodore Stephen Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle numero dos, a comic legend brought to life by the masterminds at Charlton Comics and later scooped up by DC Comics. His debut? A little backup shindig in Captain Atom number 83 that kicked off his cosmic journey. Now, Ted wasn't your average brainiac. He was a bona fide genius inventor with a side hustle as heir to the tech throne of Kord Industries. He looked up to the likes of Superman and Batman, got hit by the inspiration bug, and decided it was high time he busted out his own superhero moves. He wanted to avoid the name Bug-Eyed Bandit, which got stuck courtesy of the media. He developed a high-tech suit like a nerd's version of Iron Man's closet, but Ted's dance card was still open, as he hesitated to step into the spotlight solo. The fear of lacking a distinct superhero identity had him hesitating on the hero highway, until that is, he stumbled upon his archaeologist neighbor, the OG Blue Beetle himself, Dan Garrett. Talk about a cosmic pep talk. Dan inspired Ted to suit up and become the new Blue Beetle. And check out these epic abilities Ted's packing in his superhero toolkit. Gadgetry. Ted's your go-to guy for all things gadget-related. Genius-level intellect. Think Tony Stark with a side of extra brain power. Mechanical aptitude. Fixing things is basically his superpower. Mechanical engineering, because inventing cool stuff is how he rolls. Computer operation. Hack the planet. You bet. Chemistry. Ever needed an antidote to psychotropic drugs? Ted's your guy.
You will go easy on me.
The Black Beetle. Now, before you get all tangled up in alternate realities, let's zoom in on the new Earth edition. The one that's got the cosmic world buzzing. Imagine a slew of Black Beetles zipping through the cosmos. From Mike Carter on Earth 3 to the Lego-fied version, but we're setting our sights on the new Earth twist. Picture this. A Scarab-wielding supervillain strutting in from the future like a fashion showstopper. And guess what? He's got a membership card with the Time Stealers, a motley crew of villains plucked from their early villainous gigs, all on a mission to flip time like pancakes. Now here's where things get juicy. Mr. Mind, a Venusian worm with a knack for persuasion, slid into the Black Beetle's DMs. He offered a sweet deal. Membership with the Time Stealers in exchange for saving his sister. Imagine that, a villain with a heart, or at least a sibling soft spot. But Mr. Mind blamed the mess on none other than our Blue Beetle hero Jaime Reyes. According to Mind's playbook, Jaime should never had donned the superhero dudes. All this just to prepare the Black Beetle for his sinister plan. Now let's break it down to brass tacks. The Black Beetle packs a punch with powers that'll leave you gawking. Flight. Think Iron Man's suit with a dash of jet fuel. Mechanokinesis. He is the ultimate tech whisperer, bending gadgets to his will. Metamorphosis. Shape-shifting but with a more cosmic flair. Superhuman durability, tougher than a Hulk-sized tank. Superhuman strength, obviously. Weaponry. Picture this guy with the ultimate cosmic Swiss Army knife. Energy projection. Shooting beams that make a lightsaber jealous. Sound manipulation. He's basically the conductor of a cosmic symphony.
My name is Ba'arz O'um, and obviously, I am of Mars.
The Green Beetle. Ba'arz O'um, aka the one and only Green Beetle. So there's this Martian dude formerly known as the Green Beetle. Just like an escape artist, he managed to slip out his Scarab's clutches with a little help from the Justice League. The Reach. These cosmic busybodies sent their pesky Scarabs all over the universe like intergalactic flyers. One of those critters decided to set up camp on Mars, latching onto our Martian amigo, Ba'arz. The Reach had this wild idea. Let's invade Earth, but with some serious undercover work. Ba'arz was their secret weapon. He'd weave a tale of how he stumbled upon the Scarab while playing archaeologist, and oh, what a coincidence. It couldn't control him due to his Martian mojo. Like a superhero consultant, he'd help out Blue Beetle with his Scarab drama too. Ba'ar's the Green Martian himself rocks the classic Martian look, complete with a slim waist, arms that stretch for days, and 3-fingered hands that could easily double as high-tech tools. But because Ba'ar's isn't just a pretty face, he's packing powers that'll make you do a double take. Shape-shifting. He's like a cosmic chameleon, which he claims is his secret weapon against Scarab control. Malleability. Ba'ar's can stretch and twist his limbs like a superhero-sized Gumby, allowing him to dive deep into Scarab territory and reprogrammed attack. Healing. With shape-shifting on the menu, healing is a super-fast special. Camouflage. Ever seen a Martian blend into the background? Ba'ar's can bend light waves around him to match his surroundings. Telepathy. Talking through your mouth? So last century. Ba'ar's does it telepathically. Multilingualism. Martian check English, double check. Ba'ar's can psychically decipher languages like a human Rosetta Stone. Telekinesis. Ever moved stuff with your mind? Ba'ar's has with the flair of a cosmic magician. Flight. Forget planes. Ba'ar's telekinetically glides like a Martian rock star. The Red Beetle. We've got fewer details than Batman has gadgets, but here's the scoop. This shiny new superhero picked up the legacy where the late Blue Beetle left off. It's like a cosmic relay race. The Red Beetle made her debut in Monument Point, swooping in like a cosmic whirlwind to join forces with the Justice Society of America against none other than the villainous Dr. Chaos. Think of her as a BFF stepping in to help out like it's a superhero potluck. Red Beetle isn't just any Cape Crusader, he's the yin to Blue Beetle's yang. Meet Sarah Butters, the superhero behind the Scarab-fueled identity. She snagged a spot in the Justice League, and boy did she do it in style. Her costume is a homage, just like a tip of the hat to the second Beetle, the legendary Ted Kord himself. It's like she's wearing superhero history in her sleeves, or should I say, her Scarab-enhanced costume. Did you know the villainous Black Beetle decided he wanted to be a part of the color-coded fun? So he went ahead and borrowed the Red Beetle alias while playing with a cosmic time machine. The Gold Beetle. She's a cosmic conundrum hailing from the future, and she's basically the legacy superhero version of keeping it in the family. Now before you start picturing a beetle decked out in gold bling, here's the scoop. Gold Beetle isn't just any time-traveling hero, she's a cosmic heir to the heroic legacies of none other than Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Imagine combining the swag of Booster's time-travel antiques with the gadgetry of Blue Beetle. And that's Gold Beetle for you. Gold Beetle operates outside the usual timeline, just like her mentor Booster Gold. So her adventures? Yeah, they're like secrets waiting to be unraveled. She's got that mysterious allure that makes you wonder what cosmic shenanigans she's been up to. Now here's the awesomeness of the Gold Beetle. Kajida, that's the cosmic scarab that's like the Swiss Army knife of superpowers. We know it too well. Time bubble. If you thought time travel was cool, wait till you meet Gold Beetle's time-traveling contraption. Crafted by the genius Brainiac 5, when he was just a kid, this baby lets her zip through time and space. The Gold Bug. Imagine a futuristic spaceship that's as sleek as a rocket, but with all the time-traveling bells and whistles. Gold Beetle cruises through time and space in this cosmic ride, and she pilots it like a pro. It is powered by Whirlagog. Ever heard of an engine that bends time and space? Yeah, that's the Whirlagog powering Gold Beetle's ride. The Yellow Beetle. She's not just your average Salvadoran schoolteacher, oh no, he's a cosmic cocktail of awesomeness thanks to a little something called a Horizon Scarab. Now before you start picturing a scarab with a teacher's hat and a cape, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Yellow Beetle isn't your average bug. She's got horns that could make a Hercules beetle jealous, armor that's like a fashion mashup between medieval knights and sci-fi warriors, and that's not all. There's a scarab chilling on her chest like a cosmic accessory. She's like a cosmic puzzle piece that's still finding its place. Yellow Beetle comes packed with mystery like a superhero who's just waiting for the right moment to reveal her cards. What's her mission? Why did she fuse with the Scarab? And the big question, will she be Jaime Reyes' partner in crime or cosmic chaos? Patience, fellas, patience. Blue Beetle, Young Justice animated series. Blue Beetle isn't just your everyday hero, he's a card-carrying member of the Outsiders and a former team player. He had a brief stint as a Reach agent thanks to a little meddling from Green Beetle, but luckily Zatanna, Isis, Dr. Fate, and the team swooped in to free him from Scarab control. Now, after the recent release of the new DCEU movie, who doesn't know this guy? Jaime rocks a blue full body suit that's as snug as a spider's web. He's got wings sprouting out, and his limbs, well, they're like the ultimate multi-tool, transforming into anything from hammers to high-tech gizmos. Jaime stumbled upon the Scarab on the fateful night Ted Cord, the original Blue Beetle, met his explosive end. Talk about timing, right? Jaime thought he hit the superhero jackpot, believing the Scarab was Cord's creation. Here's the epic power list that'll make you rethink Scarabs. Construction. Imagine a suit that can whip up stables and cosmic eggs through nanotechnology, energy blasts. It's like having a party in your chest. Jaime's suit can shoot sonic and plasma cannons like it's the 4th of July. Flight. Those wings aren't just for show, they let Jaime soar through the cosmic skies with a little rocket boost for added flair. Holo projection. Who needs Instagram filters when your suit can project holographic images? Say cheese, cosmic style. Sensors. It's like having a cosmic lie detector. The suit's got sensors that can sniff out people in buildings and even read their intentions. That's handy during awkward conversations. Tech wizardry. If Reach tech were a puzzle, Jaime's suit would be the master solver. It can hack, alter, and interface with cosmic gadgets like a superhero IT guru. Blue Beetle, Gotham by Gaslight. A tale straight from Earth 19 starring none other than the one and only Daniel Garrett. The friendly neighborhood Blue Beetle is not just your everyday hero, he's the Batman's buddy, an Egyptology extraordinaire and the owner of the Blue Beetle Scarab. So there's Daniel, rocking the title of leading Egyptologist at none other than the Gotham Museum of Natural History. Now, you might think that he's just a scholar with a knack for sarcophaguses, but he's also got that cosmic bling, the Blue Beetle Scarab. But is still figuring out how to unlock its full-on Scarab-powered awesomeness. It's like having a Ferrari, but only using it to go to the grocery store. Now imagine Gotham City under threat from a creature that's basically a bat on steroids. That's where Daniel, aka Blue Beetle, swoops in to save the day. Think of it like a dreamy team-up with Batman and Blue Beetle battling the nightmarish Man-Bat together. The dynamic duo, anyone? Daniel isn't just your average hero, he's got a magic trick up his sleeve. Thanks to that Scarab of his. He uses its cosmic mojo to cleanse a friend, Kyle, the Green Lantern, turning him from a vampiric mess back into his regular old self. And Daniel's no stranger to dusty tomes and ancient artifacts. He is a bona fide expert in historiography and archaeology, which basically means he's the go-to guy when it comes to cracking the cosmic code of the past. Blue Beetle from Justice Riders. Theodore Cord, Earth 18, the machinist with a knack for turning gadgets into cosmic firepower. Meet Ted, the guy who's got the tools and the talents, but maybe not the best luck. He's a machinist extraordinaire who is struggling to make ends meet. But hey, when fate comes knocking, you don't just stand there, you answer the door. Enter Booster Gold, the time-traveling hero who recruits Ted to create a handheld Gatling gun, as who doesn't need a little extra firepower when facing off against the villainous Maxwell Lord. Ted teams up with Booster Gold as Blue Beetle and Jins, the Justice Rider. They join the legendary Sheriff Diana Prince, forming a heroic trio that's ready to take down Lord. Oh, and did I mention, they're part of the Justice Riders? Think of them like the Wild West Avengers. Now imagine Ted roaring into action on his steam wagon named the Shooter. It's like a fusion of technology and cowboy spirit, and it's about to clash with Lord's cosmic weaponry, fittingly called Lord Havoc. Spoiler alert, the Shooter crashes right into Havoc, saving the day in a blaze of glory. Jaime Reyes, Smallville TV series. Jaime, the high school student turned superhero sensation. It's 2011, and Jaime's just your average high school student minding his own business. But fate has other plans. A car owned by Cord Industries comes barreling towards him. Enter Booster Gold, and he swoops in, saving Jaime from becoming a modern-day roadrunner. But inside that car, there's a sneaky Scarab that decides to play hide-and-seek, making its way into Jaime's backpack without anyone noticing. Fast forward a bit, and boom. The Scarab latches onto Jaime, creating armor around him that's about as controllable as a cosmic roller coaster. Now, the cosmic chaos reaches its peak when the Scarab-armored Jaime takes on Booster Gold himself. It's like a superhero showdown with a side of Scarab-powered mayhem. But just when things are looking dicey for Booster, Jaime taps into his hero potential and gains control over the Scarab. Jaime is not just your everyday hero, he becomes Booster Gold's protege, getting in on the action as part of the Watchtower network. And just when you thought things couldn't get more cosmic, Jaime's jet-setting to San Francisco with a team of other young heroes, all thanks to Jay Garrick's guidance. And that's not all. Adventurers, brace yourselves for the birth of the Titans, a team of young heroes led by none other than Jaime Reyes himself, now known as the sensation, the Blue Beetle. Ted Kord, Dark Multiverse. Meet Ted, the hero with a plan to put the brakes on the events of Infinite Crisis. He's like the ultimate traffic cop, determined to keep the chaos from spiraling out of control. But hold on to your capes, cause things take a twist. Turns out Ted's initial attempt doesn't go quite as planned. He's got the best intentions, but sometimes the cosmic forces have other ideas. Enter Maxwell Lord, the villain with a knack for making things go boom. In a twist of fate, Ted ends up on the wrong side of Lord's master plan, and well, let's just say it doesn't end well for our hero. But wait, there's a twist within the twist. In the depths of the Dark Multiverse, a version of Ted Kord survives the showdown with Lord. It's like a rebirth, complete with a fresh set of challenges and a whole lot of determination. And here's where things get really interesting. That surviving Ted doesn't just fade into the background. Nope, he takes center stage as the very crisis he once tried to prevent. Ted Kord Kingdom Come. Ted Kord, the brainiac inventor turned adventurer, aka Blue Beetle. Meet Ted, the genius inventor who traded his lab coat for a battlesuit and embraced a heroic life as Blue Beetle. But hold on to your capes, cause Ted's not your typical retiree. Even in his golden years, he's rocking that Blue Beetle armor like a true daredevil. Imagine this, Ted's rocking a mystical Scarab-powered armor that's got all the bells and whistles of the first Blue Beetle's powers. It's the same high-tech suit that's part science, part magic, and all superhero swagger. And get this, he's not just using that suit for cosplaying, he is right in the thick of the action. Now, Ted's a key player in Batman's Silent Cavalry. Think of it as the ultimate team-up of heroes who've had enough of Superman's Justice League antiques. Ted's no sidekick, he's a true cosmic force, and he's ready to shake up the status quo. But Ted and his team aren't just sitting back and watching the cosmic drama unfold. Nope, they're going undercover, teaming up with Lex Luthor's Mankind Liberation Front to dig up some juicy secrets. When Ted and his crew uncover Luthor's sinister brainwashing plot involving Captain Marvel, they swoop in for some justice. It's a hero intervention with a side of epic showdown, and it's all in a day's work for a seasoned hero. Ted Kord, Injustice Earth 49. Once upon a time in a world with spandex-clad champions, there was Ted Kord, the snazzy superhero known as Blue Beetle in Earth 49. Ted, the witty inventor with a penchant for cool gadgets, decided to hang up his Blue Beetle boots. Why? Well, the Joker had his twisted fun wreaking havoc in Metropolis, and Ted thought, hey, maybe it's time to shift gears. So, Ted swapped heroics for the boardroom, channeling his mojo into Kord Industries. Meanwhile, the world was caught in a 5-year tussle against Superman's rule, but guess what? Ted stayed in the shadows, skipping the brawl. Fast forward to Superman's downfall, Ted's superhero senses weren't rusty yet. He sniffed out a successor to the Beetle legacy, a kid named Jaime Reyes. This Jaime? Oh yeah, he was hooked up with a mystical Blue Beetle Scarab. Ted's mission? Train this young bug enthusiast and make sure he doesn't trip over the same pitfalls Ted had in his hero days. Blue Jacket. Blue Jacket, the amalgam of Marvel's Yellow Jacket and DC's Blue Beetle. Meet Hank Pym, the brilliant mind behind the size-altering subatomic particles. He's putting those particles to some seriously heroic use. Hank's rocking a flight suit, Stinger blasters, and all the gadgetry he needs to become the legendary Blue Jacket. It's like the ultimate mix of insect-sized action and high-flying heroics. But those subatomic particles aren't just affecting his size, they're messing with his mind. Imagine an alternate personality named Ted Kord taking the wheel, and let's just say things get a little wild. But when Hank realizes that his Ted Kord side is causing more harm than good, he makes a bold decision. He hangs up the Blue Jacket and steps away from the heroics game. And just when you think you've got the story figured out, here comes another twist. Hank finds his true calling working as a scientist for Project Cadmus. It's like a full circle where science meets heroics in the most unexpected way. Bizarro Blue Beetle. Yep, you heard it right. We're talking about a hero from Bizarro world, where everything is upside down and inside out in the most hilarious way possible. Bizarro Blue Beetle isn't your typical hero. Nope, he's a resident of Bizarro world, also known as H-Tray or Earth Zero. And let me tell you, Bizarro world is like a parallel universe turned up to 11. Instead of a spherical Earth, it's a cube-shaped planet, because why not? Now, Bizarro world is home to the Bizarros, these quirky creatures who are like imperfect copies of humans thanks to a little something called the duplicator ray. Their skin's all gray and mottled like crumbled chalk or a dusted chalkboard, and get this, their faces, arms, legs, you name it, are all kinds of misshapen and, well, downright bizarre. Imagine Picasso's paintings brought to life and you're getting close. But even though they're all topsy-turvy, Bizarros are patterned after specific humanoid shapes. Sort of like if you tried to copy your friend's drawing but got it hilariously wrong. It's like Bizarro Blue Beetle is a walking art project gone haywire. Blue Beetle, Tiny Titans. Now this is the zany world of the Tiny Titans. These little heroes are the stars of their own comic book series under DC's Johnny DC imprint. Yep, it's like comic book fun for the pint-sized crowd. Now let's talk about our buddy Blue Beetle. He was just hanging out, minding his own business when Starfire, you know, the cosmic cutie, noticed something. She thought this usual blue getup made him look kinda down in the dumps. So, being the ever-helpful friend, she decided to get him a makeover. Yellow and pink style. Can you even imagine? Blue Beetle, the pink and yellow wonder soaring through the skies? He might have objected, but Starfire had a vision, and she went all Picasso on his armor. But hold on, the hilarity doesn't stop there. Fast forward to his birthday, and guess what? Backpack. Yep, that's a talking backpack. Gave him a gift that's like the ultimate color palette power move. A can of blue paint. Blue Beetle was back in action, embracing his signature blue hues like a hero ready to rock. Elton Kookaburra, Justice League 3000. We're zooming straight into the 31st century where Elton Kookaburra takes the stage as the Blue Beetle. Now don't let the name fool you, this hero isn't your everyday songbird. Elton Kookaburra, son of a contractor and a proud citizen of Takran Galtos, stumbled upon the Motherlode, the legendary Blue Beetle's bunker. Yeah, you heard it right, a treasure trove of tech from the hero of yesteryears. At first, Elton thought he could cash in on this jackpot and tried to hawk the outdated gadgets, even throwing in a few of his own tweaks. But guess what? The response was less enthusiastic than an empty concert hall. Seems like those fancy gizmos were passé even for the future crowd. So what did our man Elton do? He pulled off a total switcheroo, claiming the stash for himself and suiting up as none other than the Blue Beetle. Sure, he put on the suit and even lent a hand, or should I say wings, and nabbing runners here and there, but not everyone was feeling the Kookaburra beat. In fact, most folks thought he was just, well, a huge pain in the ass, as put so eloquently by Sheriff Tariq. Daniel Garrett, JSA The Golden Age. Dan Garrett, the man, the myth, the mystery man himself, the Blue Beetle of yesteryears, all the way back during good old World War II. Now let's get one thing straight, this ain't your typical everyday superhero story. This version of Blue Beetle comes straight from the JSA The Golden Age series. You know, the one that's like a treasure chest of vintage heroes and timeless tales. Dan Garrett, decked out in his snazzy Blue Beetle getup, zipping around during a time when the world was at war and mystery men ruled the scene. He was the kind of guy who'd swooped in with a flourish and saved the day, but don't expect him to hog the spotlight. Nah. Dan mostly made cameo appearances, popping in to remind everyone that even during the chaos of wartime, heroes were still doing their thing. Blue Beetle, the movie. Blue Beetle, the brainchild of director Angel Manuel Soto, swoops into the DC universe packing a punch and a whole lot of Scarab-fueled action. Meet Jaime Reyes, our fresh-faced hero in the making. He's just graduated and is facing the harsh reality of adulting in Palmera City, Texas. You know, the whole bills, and more bills situation. But fear not, because the spotlight's about to shine on him in a big blue way. Enter Cord Industries, run by the CEO Victoria Cord. These guys unearthed the Scarab artifact from a frozen tundra, and as luck would have it, it makes its way into Jaime's life. Zap, bam, boom, fusion time. Suddenly, Jaime's got a one-way ticket to Superhuman City, courtesy of the Scarab's powers. Jenny Cord, Victoria's niece, hops on the scene, and let's just say she's got some Scarab secrets up her sleeve. With her guidance, Jaime becomes the Blue Beetle, a hero in the making. But hold up, it's not just about the flashy fights. This movie dives deep into the rich legacy of the Blue Beetle, unraveling the Scarab's connection introduction to the Cord family, and when the credits roll, don't you worry, there's a hint of future adventures waiting in the wings. Jaime's journey from struggling grad to full-fledged hero isn't over, and you can bet we're all buckled in for the ride.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Marvelous verdict. In the vastness of the comic book multiverse, the Blue Beetle legacy emerges as a mosaic of captivating characters. From the ingenious Ted Cord who fused brains and gadgets as the original Beetle, to the young Jaime Reyes who found himself entwined with a mysterious Scarab, each iteration brings its own flavor to the hero's iconic blue and gold guise. With each iteration, the Blue Beetle mythos expands, embracing new dimensions, worlds, and challenges. From Kookaburra's futuristic escapades to Garrett's enigmatic World War II heroics, the legacy adapts and evolves while staying true to its core values of justice and courage. As the comic world continues to evolve, the Blue Beetle remains a source of inspiration and excitement for fans of all generations. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
No, no, no.